Welcome. Thank you for joining today's podcast, Modern Empowerment with Lorinda Buckingham, the go-to place for empowerment and business leadership so that modern leaders like you can learn to live a life of freedom, balance, and faith for success in a modern world. Lorinda Buckingham is a highly sought-after certified motivational speaker, life success coach, and leadership trainer. Lorinda has years of experience in coaching and mentoring professionals and students to develop as leaders, grow their business, and make a positive difference in the world. There's a powerful show today. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment. And remember, empowerment isn't a thing of the past. For professionals today, there is modern empowerment. Now here is your host, Lorinda Buckingham.
Well, hello and welcome to Modern Empowerment with Lorinda Buckingham. I am your host, Lorinda Buckingham, and I'm so glad that you tuned in today. We have a great show lined up for you, and I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. There are so many different podcasts that you have to choose from, so I really appreciate that you tuned in today to this one. Each week, we try to give leadership tips and tools to people who are looking to advance their careers, to build the businesses of their dreams, and also to have the personal life that they want to have as well, to build up their marriages. And also if they're single and they're trying to walk in singleness and trying to walk the way they're supposed to as single people, we try to give those resources here. I remember when I was going out and trying to find resources for my life, it was very difficult to find things that related to me as a millennial, as a person who had to juggle multiple hats, because my life was intertwined. There was so many different things that were going on in my life at the same time. So I needed to know how to put them all together and how to work the things I need to work. You know, I have 3 small children. If you're just tuning in, I have 3 small children, and I juggle between being a mother and a wife and an entrepreneur. I have a CEO. I've been building this business for a couple years now. I've been doing pretty good. I worked in the automotive industry as an engineer and had a really good career. So now I'm doing this on my own and starting on my own. And I felt like there needs to be more resources available to help tell people that are just like me or in a journey, just like I'm in a journey, to try to figure out how they could be successful, how they could be successful as modern leaders. And that's why I had this company called Modern Empowerment, because it's meant for modern leaders, modern women, modern men who are out there trying to be husbands and fathers, or fathers and CEOs, and trying to figure out how they could be successful. So if that's you, then you tune into the right place. This is a place that we give those type of resources. If you have any ideas or you have different topics that you want to talk about, be sure to email me, and our team will definitely look at it to put it into the pipeline. And you can email us at support@lorindabuckingham.com. We do look at it. We get IMs and DMs, and we get things on social media all the time about topics. They say, Lorinda, can you please talk about this? And we'll put it in a lineup and put it up there. So if that's you, make sure you do the same thing. Also, I want to give a special thanks to all those who support this podcast through donations. We receive donations, and that's how we keep the podcast going. If you would like to make a donation, please do so. You could do so on the website, and you could do so as a subscriber. And we use those donations to help keep this going and actually keep doing what we do each and every week. Also, please be sure to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you can get notified immediately as soon as a new podcast is uploaded, as soon as a new show. We have guest speakers or people who are scheduled to come on. And so we want to make sure that when they come on, you're ready. You know, you can get it firsthand directly into your phone or directly into your email as soon as it's published. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please be sure to subscribe to this podcast. Also, I want to make sure that we let everyone know that we do have some upcoming mastermind groups. So we have one called Becoming a Person of Influence. Now, becoming a person of influence is about learning how to get influence in your community and also in your career. So if you're the type of person who's looking to advance, maybe you need to get more visibility in your company, you need to kind of grow a little bit in your company, this would be a great mastermind for you, because it would teach you how to get more visibility, how to connect, how to be a person of influence, how to be seen as a leader in your organization. Also, if you have a ministry and you're trying to grow, get more exposure, this will help you with that. This is not a marketing class, but what it is a leadership class to help you project yourself to become more noticeable and also to go out and build your own personal brand. The second one that we have coming up is Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. This is a great mastermind course for people who are looking to connect more in their communication with marriage or with their churches or with their departments. So if you have any type of issues or need to just make improvements in communication and how you connect and communicate with other people, this will be great as well. This class usually really fills up the 2 classes, both of them. As I'm recording this now, we do have some seats, but they are actually selling out pretty quickly. So if you want to get into this particular class, make sure you sign up, and you can see us on Eventbrite. We also have links on our Facebook page where you can sign up as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started with today's lesson. I'm so excited about this one because this is one that I had to use myself. So I'm going to share some of the tips that I've had. And we're going to talk about courage. We're going to talk about courage. And the reason why I want to talk about courage is because so many times, many of us out here are crippled by fear. So the title of today's podcast is, Do you have the courage to want good for yourself? Do you have the courage to want good for yourself? And the reason why I made it that the title is because a lot of people do not have courage to believe good things for themselves. I have a lot of different coaching clients and people that I work with on a regular basis. And one of the things that I've had to work with some people on is being able to step out by faith and just believing that they can get something good. Right? A lot of times people can believe something bad, or they can believe that it's good for someone else, but to take them to a place to where they start to believe something good for themselves. So do you have that courage, that bravery to be able to just stand up and say, you know what, this is for me. I want that job. I want the advancement. I want to start the business of my dreams. This is for me. This is what I want. And I'm going to step out on it and I'm going to do it. And a lot of times when we talk about courage, the first things that we think about is maybe military people or people who have served in some type of service capacity, maybe a police officer or firefighter, because we look at these people as going out and they're being heroes. They're doing something in some type of service capacity. But when we talk about courage in our own lives, we have to become our own heroes. We have to show up for ourselves if we want anyone else to show up for us, right? So when we talk about people who serve and they go out to war and they're heroes, when we step out in courage for our dreams, we're also being heroes for ourselves. Because sometimes when you start to believe good things for yourself, then you also may have different wars, certain battles, as some people would call them, battles in your mind, battles out in the world against what it is that you're trying to do when you're trying to do something good. So you have to believe, you have to trust and have faith in yourself and have that courage to step out. So again, a lot of people think that it's just the service people, but you could be a person of courage. So do you have the courage to want something good for yourself? And I want to encourage you that you are good enough to want something good. You deserve to want something good. Even if your past has said something different, even if you made mistakes in the past, your mistakes of the past does not have to dictate where you go into the future. You may have consequences for certain choices, but it does not have to determine your destiny. You can turn around your situation simply by changing the way you think about yourself and changing the way you feel how you deserve good things for you. You deserve to have some good things because the way you believe in yourself is what you will attract. So if you believe good things in yourself, you'll attract good things back to you. It takes courage to leave a job. It takes courage to start a business. It takes courage to go out for a promotion. It takes courage to work on a marriage. It takes courage to go out and date again after your heart's been broken. It takes courage to believe that you can have something good. It's not for everybody. Some people, they don't want to step out there. You can't look at other people. You have to sit there and believe within yourself. Because when you have that courage, when you step out, then you will attract great things back to you. It takes courage, because I know somebody out there listening. It takes courage to go back to school. It takes courage to go back to school after you've already started your career, and to go back to school. And, there's people in your classroom that may even be old enough to be your child. Or maybe you feel that you should have done it already. But to go back to school, to get the laptop, go a full day of work, and then to go to school, that takes courage. That takes courage. And that type of courage should not go overlooked. So when you believe in good for yourself, you start making decisions that line up with how you feel about yourself. So when you step out and you go back to school after you've taken a hiatus and decide to change your career or to go back to school, you're saying that you're good enough, that you believe in yourself. And that's what you should focus on. So I'm going to give you 3 things, 3 things that you could begin to do right now. I've given a couple things already, but we're going to go 3 things to where you can start to feel good about yourself, to have courage to want more for yourself. Number one, I want you to recognize that you have the courage within. Number 1 is to recognize that you have the courage within. You have what it takes already inside of you. You have what it takes to be great. You have what it takes to be successful. You have what it takes to achieve the goals and the dreams that you have. That's already in you. You don't have to go muster it up. It's already there. What you do when you go out and get resources like this and you come to the workshops that we provide, what you're doing is you're putting water onto the seed that is already sown in you. Because if you're listening, if you're leaning in, you already have a seed and a desire to want to grow. You have a desire to want to be better, to do better, to be better. So you have to recognize that you have whatever it takes already in you. Discover that you have the power within you and that you may not even be aware of it. You may not even be aware of it, because I know someone's going to tell me, I know I'm not as brave. I'm not as brave as you think I am. And the thing is, they're actually a lot more stronger than what they give themselves credit for. I remember when I was younger and my dad bought us, me, my sisters, a brand new bike. And I thought that was the best thing ever. It was one of the best days. It was a pink and gray bike with little sparkles on it. And I was able to ride it and go up and down the street. And I couldn't wait. And when I got the bike, as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and ride this bike. We're going to have whatever it is that we need to have. And we're going to go up and down the street. And as soon as I got on, I fell. I fell. It was one thing that I forgot. I could not ride a bike. I couldn't ride it. But I didn't know that riding the bike was going to be as painful, even though I saw the bike and it was shimmery, it was shiny, it was fun. I wanted to ride it, but to get on it at first was painful. I scraped my knee. But once I got a hold of it and I started riding the bike, it was one of the most fun experiences I've had. So when you ask yourself, was getting the knees scraped or getting a little bit bruised, was it worth the whole experience of riding the bike? I'll say absolutely. See, right now, your dreams or your goal is like that bike. It's like the bike. As you see it and it's shimmery and it's great and you want to get on it, but you might be afraid to get on because you're afraid that you're going to scrape your knee. You're afraid that you're going to fall down. But the falling down and scraping the knee has absolutely nothing compared to what will happen once you learn how to do what it is that you need to do. Once you actually achieve what it is that you need to achieve. Don't let the fear of something so small keep you from stepping out on courage and wanting something good for yourself. If you want to be married, if you want a husband, don't be afraid just because you had a bad relationship. Just because one relationship went bad, you stopped loving. Just because you didn't get the promotion at the job that you feel that you should have got, doesn't mean you should stop applying. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't stop, getting the skills so you could do better and get more. You should still continue to do all of those different things and not letting the fear of failing or the fear of anything stop you. You have to recognize that you do have the power within you, and you do have the ability and the courage within you to be great. Number 2, I want you to do it afraid. I want you to do it afraid, because I know someone out there is going to say that, I have courage, but I still feel afraid. Feeling that way does not mean that you do not have courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's having fear and doing it anyway. So I want you to do it anyway. I want you to do it afraid. I want you to step out by faith, and I want you to step out into your career, into your business, into your personal life, into building your marriage, building your single life, whatever that may be. I want you to step out and do it by faith and do it afraid. Don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid that you won't be able to do right and it won't work out right. Do it afraid. No matter what your feelings may say, because feelings don't have a brain. They don't have a brain. They just indicators, but it doesn't mean that what you feel is necessarily the truth. So if you're there, make sure you do it afraid. And number 3, remove the negative thinking. I'm going to just leave that right there. Remove the negative thinking. As soon as anything negative comes up, the negative naysayers, anything at all, remove the negative thinking. Thoughts that come up, it says, what if this doesn't work? What if people do not like me? What if I have to go back to a job? What if I look silly? You have to remove the negative thinking in order for you to step out in courage to want the good things that you want in your life. You deserve this. You can do this. This is your time. This is your season. You have to remove the negative thinking. That's what keeps people down, and that's what keeps people under, is keeping them in the negative thinking, keeping them with negative thoughts. And if you're serious about going out there and making a positive difference in your life and someone else's life and actually achieving your goals, one of the biggest things you're going to have to do is remove the negative thinking. Being a person of courage does not mean that you do not have any fears or apprehensions, but it just means that you step out anyway. So when you go out today, I want you to think positive things about yourself. Your action item today is going to be that you got to write down 10 things, 1 through 10 on a piece of paper, or you can put it in your iPad or your notes, but 10 positive things about yourself that you could think about. 10 positive reasons why you should get the things that you need to have in your life. And you need to think about that all week. 10 positive things. And so as I close this out, I want you guys to know that you have to be a person of courage. As you go out, you are that person. Remember that power, that courage is within you. You can do it throughout the entire week. You could do it every single day. It's something that you can do. The greatest people in this world, the people that you think that are great, the ones, your famous performers, your famous entertainers, all of those people have learned to do great things and to do it afraid. They recognize the courage that they have within them, and they reduce and take away all the negative thinking. So again, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. And until next time, here's to your freedom, your balance, and your faith for success. Take care.
Thank you for joining today's podcast of Modern Empowerment with Lorinda Buckingham, who has given us valuable empowerment and leadership lessons. For more tools and tips and to book Lorinda for your next event, check out her website at www.lorindabuckingham.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook at /Lorinda Buckingham and follow us on Twitter at Lori_Buckingham. Don't forget to subscribe and tell a friend. We look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, here's to your freedom, balance, and faith for success.